I didn't clean up. I should have had. I planned out just holding the camera the whole time, but I guess I should have had. This movie. I could put it down there. That lasted all of 20 seconds. Because I was planning on just having the video. You know, I was just gonna hold the camera the whole time, but I was like, maybe I should have had, just in case, just a spot to put the camera down, just in case my arm got tired. Haven't had a video in a while, and you know what? Every video is gonna start up like that for the foreseeable future, because there's just no time anymore. You know, life gets in the way a lot, and sometimes you prioritize a lot of different things, and you don't have any more time for stuff that you actually want to do, or stuff that you thought you cared about. It's been a busy. How long has it been? Hold on, let me get. So today is officially the 1st of October. Yeah, because it's like 12:30. Yeah. Day starts at midnight. So it's October 1st, and the school semester started for what, like June, July, August something, whatever. And 2 weeks before the semester started, I got my first job, and we talked about that in the last video that we made with Jadrian. And the reason why that video took so long was because we both had work on so many days that, you know, I'll focus this because it's getting really oppressive. Like I said, it's like midnight, and I had to stay awake because I had to give the dog his medicine. Now it's too dark, and you'll notice my tan lines. Yeah, I got work, I got school, not to mention, this semester, I was asked to run a club, and I kind of did it because, partly because, yeah, I wanted to, of course. Yeah, I would have said yes if I didn't want to, but also because I felt like I needed to. It was just an obligation. I don't know. I must have. I tell the videos everything, but if I haven't talked about it on camera, but and during my senior year of high school, I helped my friend run the high school's anime club, and my whole thing was really just game tournaments, and that was so much fun. And we had an anime club at the high school, at the college, but they didn't do gaming. You know, they were all like strictly like they were doing stuff that the anime club should do, which is actual talking about anime, watching anime, actually, you know. But I was more into the whole like gaming aspect of it, and so our club advisor, you know, I got to know her over the 2-3 semesters that I've been here, and we're friends now. And she asked me for the 3rd semester, if I wanted to run a new club, and basically it came down to the decision of just merging the two clubs together, just so that, you know, like the old club can function as it used to, and I can do this other thing. So it's just an additive thing. And so I'm doing that, but I forget, what it's like to actually run that type of stuff, because the only reason why it ran so smoothly back then was because it didn't, honestly. Now that I think about it more, it didn't actually run as smoothly as I remember it. It was quite a process, it was like it was a lot of making sure that people knew what they were doing. And so, because I have to be the one that talks and kind of coordinates this kind of stuff, it's just another thing on my plate, pretty much. I have to, I keep being told about all the rules I have to write. I have to make sure everyone's following the rules that I set. Everyone's, no one's like doing whatever. Basically, it's just weird responsibilities all at once to have, and sometimes you spread yourself a little bit too thin, and I think I'm starting to feel that, because, last semester I thought I was like spending so much time at the college that I was like, I don't know if if I'll have time for anything else, you know. But that was because I was doing the play. I was in a stage show, and we had rehearsals every night from like, I think like 6 to 10 or like 7 to 10. I know it was like a while. I think it's 6 to 10, but we had like rehearsals from 6 to 10, 5 days a week for 2, 3 months, 2 months, and then the last month was the show. It was just like every weekend during the third month. Yeah, so it was 2 months of nonstop, um, nonstop rehearsal, and then the actual show starts up, and now that it's done, and then suddenly there's this gap, there's this void, where the show used to be, but now no longer is. And I guess at the time I thought, I could do all this, I could do all that. And also, because a lot of stuff that happened over the summer, um, I felt a little bit more motivated to do a bunch of stuff. I got a job, first of all. I didn't even plan on it. I kind of feel bad because we might have told this story, but in case we haven't, we'll probably tell it again. But um, I came over, I hung out with Jadrian and Max one day, and they were gonna turn in applications, and I had I have a little folder that has my resume in it, and it also has a filled out job application on GameStop with an outdated resume at this point. Anyway, I had that ready, and I was gonna turn that one in to whatever if we stopped by the GameStop along the way, but I had forgotten that I had asked Max to get me a copy of an application to where they were applying, and I filled that out. And out of the three of us, he was the one that went out and got the applications in the first place. He was the only one that didn't get hired, and I kind of still feel bad about that. But I also think it's funny in a kind of a weird, like, demented sort of sense, because it's like, oh, it's kind of mean, but also it's like, oh, it's kind of funny. I feel bad. I hope he gets a job, and we have been we have been asking I ask, I was like, hey, are we hiring right now? And they're always like, yes, we're always hiring, and I don't know why, but we never. I'm pretty sure he has an application. I'm pretty damn sure he has an application. At the same time, I wouldn't recommend getting a job because that doesn't really free anyone else up. Part of the reasons why I got the job was so that we had money to spend. Because I remember every time we hung out, it would, like, it would always be the issue. It was like, what are we gonna eat? What are we gonna do? Do we have food? And it's not like a requirement that we have to eat every time. It's just we spend such a long amount of time with each other that we get hungry, and there's not usually any food ready. And I don't want to cook because I'm lazy. And even if I did want to cook, there's not usually like food ready, or like it takes too long to prepare, or whatever. Just basically you would always settle on like pizza, and for whatever reason, we always got the most expensive pizza ever. Like, it wasn't our fault. Like, we tried to cut down on the pizza, but it's one of those, like, it's the website. It's Pizza Hut. You go on Pizza Hut, and then they go build your own pizza, and they add like a million different. Go up, go up. Sorry about that. My sister's building a toy. It's one of those model Ava units. It's pretty cool. I built 2 of those. I forgot my train of thought. Oh, well, I don't know what I was talking about. I was basically talking about we like the reasons that I'm spread so thin is so that I can have money. Like, oh, I was talking about why I got the job in the first place. Oh, we can have money to get like food and like go places, so that we don't just sit around and do nothing all the time. Like, it's fun and all, but we started talking about, like, we went on that camping trip, which was like for $40. We ended up spending $40 just because that was the amount of money that we all had at the time. Like, we not $40 total, but it was like $40 each, and there was like a bunch of us. We invited a bunch of people to join us so that we had just the appropriate amount of money. And now I can pay $40, no problem. But when am I gonna have the time to do all that stuff anymore? I checked. Not the other day. It was like a few hours ago. I actually got a little bit depressed when I saw it, but because our schedules are written so that we have our schedules laid out for the next 3 weeks. And what I usually do is I look at the calendar and I write down the days that I have a day off, or rather, I write down the hours that I have work, and I've got like 3 full shifts for the next week. This coming week I actually have like 1 day off, like for real's day off. Like I have Tuesdays and Thursdays listed as days off, for the foreseeable future, just because I have classes that day. But there's a thing, see, my days off are days that I have classes, and actually, the days that I spend classes, I spend longer because I have to be at the school at a specific hour in the morning just so I have decent parking, which is usually 9 in the morning, and my last class doesn't end till 9 p.m. So I'm literally at the school for like 12 hours, and it's a nightmare sometimes. Sometimes it's an easy day, like the film class is fine. It's just it's so late for no reason. It's 3 hours for no reason, because he does like a 30 to 45 minute lecture before each movie, and it's part of the class because we do have to learn something. We're not just sitting there watching movies. And I guess it is my fault because I took 2 classes at the same time. But what am I gonna do? I need those units. So I have those for my day off. It's just the most depressing. Like on your day off, you're like doing shit. I have those, and then this week I have Wednesday, and then I looked and I had like an appointment. Like the appointment's not gonna take long, but it's still like I still gotta do something. And even at that, like even on my days off, what am I gonna do? Because my friends have work as well. Jadrian has work. We got the same job. It's his birthday coming up soon, and he closes, which is like the worst shift. I'm sorry, like I like closing. I had to close today. It's a full shift too. I gotta close full. But it's not the most fun most of the time. I have on the days that I do have days off. Jadrian doesn't always have the day off as well, or he has the opposite shift. Like today, I'm pretty sure. Oh, not today because it was Friday. He has Fridays off actually. But I remember one day I was there working like a full shift, and as soon as I was done with my shift, he was coming in to do his shift, which was a closing shift. And then Max can't drive. And I don't know if he even likes hanging out like that late at night, or even if I want to hang out late that night, because usually my shifts end at like 5:30. It's either 2 or 5:30, and Cheza can't hang out because she also has Cheza's schedule is a nightmare. She tells me all the time like her schedule, or like I've internalized her schedule to the point where I think about it sometimes and I go, damn, like. I think about my schedule and I think about what her schedule is like, and she's literally like driving around like at the very least at the very least 2 days a week she's driving around so much, and for 5 days a week she's driving around less, but she's still driving around a lot, and it sucks. I would imagine, but there's just no time for anything anymore. And the times that I do actually have like time to like spend doing nothing, I just end up doing nothing. And that's kind of sad because the reason why I did this in the first place was so that on my days off I had the time for my friends and everything else. And having no time for that kind of puts into perspective a lot of things, you know, like, because when you're alone, or at least me, when I'm alone by myself all the time, I start my mind starts to wander, and I start to think about, you know, like, just lots of different things that are on my mind, and I kind of think about, you know, like, how everything came to be, you know, like where am I at right now in my mind, like where, like, internalizing my thoughts, just how do I feel about everything. And then I think about all the stuff that's happened, um and stuff that I'm planning out, and it's just, you know, is it fun, you know? I get a paycheck every week, and we get paid, like, for the work we did the previous week. So on the weeks that I do nothing, it feels great because I'll come in, like, I remember one week I had, like, I think it was like the Labor Day weekend. They had me scheduled for like 2 days, um, which was Labor Day. I'm pretty sure they only scheduled me for Labor Day, which means I got paid twice, but whatever. Um, so that entire week I didn't do anything, and then I came back Friday and I got my paycheck, and it was like a lot because of how many hours I worked the previous week. And then the next week, I had like 2 full shifts. I had like a half shift. I didn't have a day off. I didn't have a real day off. I don't count Tuesdays and Thursdays as days off because I have school. But I did all that work, and then on the day that we get our paychecks, um, I got my paycheck, and it was based on the work that I did last week, and it was like, really, you know, and it kind of, I get why they do that system, I guess, because I guess it takes time to, like, get all the money and whatever, get everyone's checks, blah blah blah. It's a system, and I understand and I get it, but, you know, sometimes it just doesn't feel great, you know, when you're doing all this work and then you get, like, no money for it, you know. But I looked at my schedule for the next two, like, at least, like, the first 2 weeks of October, and I've got, like, no time to do anything. Um, this week, like I said, my only day off is Wednesday, and then on Friday I have a full shift. Saturday I have a half shift, which is opening. They keep scheduling me for opening. You know, we hire so many different people. I remember we got like 7 people going to orientation. We had 7 people going to orientation. None of them want to work, I guess, or like they all work on like the days that I'm not here. You know, like, I can't be the only guy in that department. That's not possible. You know, but sometimes it feels like it. But I don't know what it means. The fact that because in the beginning, I wasn't like getting. I wasn't my name wasn't on the schedule a lot. I don't know what it means that my name's on the schedule a lot more. Like, you know, like, I used to see, like, because it's like a grid. It looks like an Excel spreadsheet kind of. It's like grids with everyone's names and then their time throughout the whole week. It's actually, no, not like a spreadsheet. It's like a calendar, but it's like a week. It's like a weekly calendar instead of like a monthly calendar. And everyone's names is on one side, and I would always remember there's always just a bunch of white spaces that always used to be like mine, you know, like, but now it's just a jumbled mess of words because my name is there and I have a bunch of hours these days. And I guess it feels good knowing that they trust me enough that I can work that many hours. But it also kind of feels like they just didn't hire anyone for that department, so I'm the only one here. And I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. It's not the worst job in the world. You know, it's kind of a tiring job and it's kind of soul crushing to a certain extent. But, you know, the people that work there make it easier, but the work itself, no matter where you are, is always going to be the same. Like, I remember going to Walmart at the end of my shift once, and over the PA I heard, like, shoe associate, can you go to whatever, whatever, and I almost had a heart attack. I was like, oh, that's not me, like not a heart attack, but I kind of felt like, whenever I would hear, um, shoe associate, go to whatever on my earpiece, and I was like, oh, okay, didn't even. I was shopping, and I had that panic. I was like, oh, where am I supposed to go? But I was like, for like a quick second, I felt it. Um, but the environment might be different, but the work is still the same. I'm sure the shoe associate at Walmart feels the same way I do, you know. But it's not the worst job in the world, you know. I I I kind of like it, honestly. Like, I have friends who work retail, and some of them don't really like it, but I'm not saying it's my favorite job, but I'm saying it is a job, and I'm not gonna quit just because, you know, I'm tired. I need it at the end of the day, you know, because even if I do quit now, just so that I have time to do the stuff that I want, what am I actually doing, you know? Um, and it's kind of a weird way to put things, I guess, you know, because when I had all this time to do stuff, I ended up doing nothing with it, and and that's not to say that I wasted that time. It's just, I spent all that time like relaxing all by myself, or like playing video games, and once in a while I'd hang out with friends, and I just feel like that time could have been better spent, you know. But now that I have no time, of course that's how I feel, and when I lose this job, I'm gonna feel the exact opposite. Like, like having free time is so great, but I have no money anymore. That's the thing. Um, I guess that's the other thing. Ever since you get a job, your spending habits change, and everyone thinks that everyone thinks their first paycheck is like, oh, this is gonna go straight in my savings. I'm not gonna spend a dime on it, and you end up spending it on nothing. I remember my first paycheck was $30, and I spent it on a burger. I spent it on a meal with me and Jadrian because I think it was like our first closing shift together, and we got so hungry and we were so tired, and we just went to Jack in the Box, and we were so, yeah, we told it in the other video. Go watch that one. It's also 20 minutes. But yeah, that was what I spent my first paycheck on, and it was gone. And granted, it was $30. So it's not a lot. And I'm not saying I spent all $30 on that one like meal, because that would be robbery. It's a burger, It was a combo meal. It was 2 combo meals, but that's not $30. But at the end of the day, I was like, I have $12, and it's pitiful. And a lot of people think that they're able to handle money better than they actually do. But at the end of the day, you have a bunch of other expenses that you didn't even consider before, because you never had money to deal with. But now it's like, I gotta count. I gotta make sure I know how much money I have all the time now, and it's bogus. It's just a little bit bogus. But I don't know. And I haven't done these videos in a while, just me by myself in my room. But I haven't really had a chance to kind of internalize the thoughts, or the time as well. I just didn't have the time to do it. But anyway, it's 1 o'clock. I gotta give Charlie his medicine. He's pretending to be asleep. Yeah, I'm gonna go do that, and hopefully the next time we do one of these videos, it's not in my room. It's with my friends, and it's not so sad, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't feel happy right now. But I hope everyone has a wonderful first day of October. I hope you live in a colder climate than I am. It sucks in California. We had our first cold day, I think, yeah, yesterday or the other day. I think Wednesday was our first cold day. Days after that was just like hot again. You know, not quite as hot. It's like it's not 90 degrees, but it's not great either. You know, we're supposed to be getting rain, I think, during this weekend, so that's exciting. I hope it's in Napa because it said Bay Area, and usually when I hear Bay Area, it really just means Vallejo or San Francisco. So I hope that the place that I'm actually gonna be at actually gets some rain because I could use some enlightenment, which is kind of funny because people usually consider rain to be a bad thing, but not in California. We love rain. Anyway, that's it. I'm rambling now. Um, have a good have a good day. Whoever's watching this video, which is no one, probably Jadrian. I hope Jadrian's having a good day. Uh, that's it. I'm gonna go give Charlie his medicine. Peace out.